What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. And so I have a reaction video between Mr. Jerry Taylor and Rashad Richey. So listen, I was watching this. I think somebody mentioned this in my chat, and I tried to watch it. I done kicked my camera twice. I almost messed up my monitor because my seating arrangement is totally different than the last time. So I watched it twice, and now I'm going to watch it again because I got all the laughing out of the way. I got all the shock and just eye roll. I think I still may roll my eyes, but we're gonna watch this. But I want you to understand. Let me just tell you something about Rashad Richey. Rashad Richey is a ex-gangbanger, so that means he was committing horrible crimes against other black people, a criminal, a thug. But he now has, I guess he straightened up and started to fly right, and now he has this warped mentality of victimhood, or I'm so oppressed, and the white man this and the white man that. You can tell a lot about a man, just how he reacts to a man that he feels is greater than him. Now, Mr. Jerry Taylor is very confident. He has a high level of self-esteem, and he should. He's a very intelligent man. Okay, that's my body. Love me some Mr. Jerry Taylor. Okay, and I noticed that when men are intimidated by him, they tend to act in an emotional way. So when I watch this video, I'm watching Rashad Richey react like his mother, because his father was not in his life. Hence why he lived a life of crime. Hence why he served time in jail. And now he wants to blame the white man for his decisions, not taking accountability for anything he has done. So we're going to watch this reaction. It's going to be a doozy, honey. Right out the gate, Rashad started name calling. And so when you start name calling so early in the debate, that means you don't have any arguments. That means you don't feel that your stance is stable, that you can actually defend it adequately against somebody like Mr. Jerry Taylor. And he didn't. It was a big old F for fail. And he got clowned, dude. He clowned himself, and he didn't even mean it. So let's go ahead and watch this, because now I get to watch this without having a huge, big reaction like I did. I think I'm still going to end up laughing, but I don't think it's going to be just as bad. Here we go.
In the bullpen today, we have Mr. Jared Taylor, editor of American Renaissance and well-known racist.
Right off the bat, well-known racist. How would Rashad feel if he came onto my show and say, hey, everybody, I have Mr. Rashad Richey here to join me. He has his own show called The Bullpen? Yeah, called The Bullpen. And he is a known gangbanger, rapist, as well as a murderer. How are you doing today, Mr. Rashad? I mean, how would I look if I came out of pocket talking to him like that? First of all, it would show my insecurities. It would show that I'm just being disrespectful to my guests, and that I'm already on the defensive right off the bat, immediately. And yeah, automatically he's showing how he's intimidated. Automatically he's showing how he feels he's inferior. And he probably is. He's not that bright in the head, okay? So he needs to equal the playing field by trying to vilify Mr. Taylor.
Sir, good day. Welcome to the show.
I wish you would not call me a racist, but
okay. Can I read one of your comments?
Read as many as you like.
All right, so one of your comments, you said, Africa is in our midst. Lessons from Katrina, the barbaric behavior of the city's black population after the hurricane revealed a key truth. Blacks and whites are different. When blacks are left entirely to their own devices, Western civilization, any kind of civilization, disappears. You don't think that's a racist statement?
Why is it when anybody start using, this is what these type of people do all the time. They start doing racist, homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, and xenophobic. So they'll do the other racist and this and this, that, and the other. And instead of them saying, well, what, you don't see that racist? My question would be to them, where's the lie? Is the truth racist? Because if you think the truth is racist, then that's your problem, not mine. See, that's my thing.
That is an observation of what happened in Katrina, and I think it applies equally to those circumstances in which blacks, in fact, are left entirely to their own devices. In sub-Saharan Africa, before either Arabs or whites showed up, there was no written language. There were no calendars, no mechanical devices, no two-story buildings. And so I think without a written language and a calendar, it's hard to have a civilization.
It's really interesting. Who built the pyramids, sir?
We was kings! We was kings! We was kings, don't you? Hey, Mr. Taylor, don't you know we was kings? We was kings and shit. Okay, we was kings. How do you go from sub-Saharan, and by the way, I already seen this part. I have laughed twice, so I'm not going to really go too crazy laughing again. But I may include that into this video. But woo, child, let me tell you something. This is so double his part. He makes himself look so stupid. Here we go. Remember, Mr. Taylor was stating something about sub-Saharan Africa, and this fool talking about something. What about Egypt? What about Egypt? We was kings. We was kings.
Did white people? No, I'm asking. Did white people build the pyramids?
I'm talking about sub-Saharan Africa. If you are not aware of where the pyramids are, they are north of the Sahara.
But I'm asking, do you believe white people built the pyramids? My question is quite simple.
Egyptians built the pyramids.
All right, were they white?
They were actually people more like the people who are Copts. Copts are considered a Caucasian civilization. But
they are. So Caucasians built the pyramids.
I do not consider them whites myself. They're kind of a Middle Eastern, North African group.
Oh, so since he couldn't get him on Mr. Taylor is very intelligent. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can sit up here and hate. Well, my subscribers and viewers won't hate on Mr. Taylor, but a lot of people who are triggered by him, but don't even engage with his arguments, with his statements, these people are triggered. And it amazes me that, Rashad just made himself look stupid when Mr. Taylor was talking about sub-Saharan Africa. He talks about the pyramid, that he was trying to get Mr. Taylor would have got you by saying, are the Egyptians white? And Mr. Taylor doesn't fall for it. And I believe Mr. Taylor when he says that he doesn't consider the Egyptians white. And actually, it's true. The Egyptians were not white. So I guess Rashad thought that Mr. Taylor was going to say that the Egyptians were white so he can get another gotcha. But since that didn't work out so well, he got failed twice. He's going to move on to something else.
Let me highlight something that I think is worth mentioning.
Told you.
You believe that IQ, which is intellectual quotient, judged by various parameters. You believe that IQ is a genetic dynamic and not atmospheric. Is that basically what you believe?
Atmospheric? No, I don't think it changes with the weather. I think that individual IQ is largely heritable.
Okay.
And you would
so let me go ahead.
So now you done clowned yourself, Rashad, for the third time. You clowned yourself. Dude, just stop. Holy smokes. Hold on, let me rewind that just a little bit. Hold on a second.
Individual IQ is largely heritable.
Okay.
And you would
let me go ahead and clarify something. Atmospheric, I'm a social scientist.
So?
Atmospheric means societal construct. That's what it means.
No, it doesn't. I love when these stupid idiots like this man sit up here and try to redefine words. Because, I went to look up the word, and I'm going to be straight up with you. I never heard that definition, okay, for atmospheric. And so here is the definition. I want to make sure you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. So this is what I came across, right? It is an adjective, and it's of relating to or existing to the atmosphere. So Mr. Taylor was telling the truth, but maybe the second one will get him. Produced by dependence on or coming from the atmosphere. Social construct is nowhere in this definition. Idiot. Rashad, by the way. And then the third one, resembling or representing the atmosphere, having or giving the effects of translucence. Okay, so that don't look like social construct to me at all. So, yeah. What? This guy, he's just making himself look stupid. Holy smokes. Whew, okay, here we go.
So there are two schools of thought as it relates to IQ tests. One is a fluid model, and the other one is more stoic. So when I say atmospheric, the question, which obviously you did not know.
Apparently you don't know either, but he knows. Excuse me, not saying you don't know either. You just don't know. You don't know, Rashad. You're so arrogant in your ignorance, and this is what's so funny to me.
The question is, do you believe that societal construct?
Yeah, that's why Mr. Taylor's laughing at you, dumbass, because you're just a clown, dude.
Has a bearing on the expression of IQ. So that's my question.
Of course.
It does.
Society has an effect on practically everything.
So society impacts your IQ.
It can impact your IQ if you are severely deprived as a child, malnourished, etc. But for the most part, hold on.
What scientists came up with severely?
And that's another thing I noticed. People who don't have arguments, people who trying to get a gotcha, people who are actually not stern in their own beliefs, and they know they're coming from a point of ignorance, also from a point of falsehood, they love to interrupt. They love to, because they don't want you to get your words out. When people constantly interrupt you, they're not interrupting you to reply to what you're saying because you haven't finished saying what you had to say. Obviously, Mr. Taylor was in the process of talking, and Rashad, was interrupting him because he needs to sound smart. I need to look smart. I need to sound smart. Okay, I can't have this white man show me up. This my show. Woo, you're a clown, Rashad. You're a clown.
Malnourished,
so who came up with severely?
But for the most part, hold on.
What scientists came up with severely?
I beg your pardon?
What study are you citing that says it only applies in severe situations?
Well, if you take people from middle-class environments, people who are not deprived. If you're not deprived, let me finish.
Yeah, this is actually a study that Mr. Taylor is talking about. He's not naming a study, but it does deal with some twins. I guess I don't even remember the study, but he's talking about a particular study that was done on adopted twins. And I'm surprised Rashad have never heard of this study.
If you take, for example, identical twins who are separated at birth and given up for adoption and reared in totally different households, you will find that their adolescent and adult IQs are almost identical. It's almost like two persons taking the test back to back. So there is an effect of environment, and the environment can have an effect, especially on younger children. But by the time people reach adolescence, they have more or less established their intellectual environment, and their IQ will be very close to what one would predict from a genetic point of view. But environment is not zero. No one who is seriously a student of any of these things would say the environment has no effect.
You know, it's interesting because I teach my college students that people in the construct of societal.
Oh man, this fool is a teacher. I feel sorry for your students, dude. No wonder a lot of people coming out of schools dumber and dumber. If you got this for a teacher, you're not learning nothing except how to be a victim.
Norms. We are made up of 3 E's: experiences, exposures, and environments. And those 3 E's really shape who we are. Now remember, the IQ test itself, I actually question the legitimacy of any IQ exam. And IQ test.
Yeah, of course he does, because he's stupid. not smart, Rashad. You're not smart. That's why you question it. You're intimidated by it. And by the way, I'm going to tell you my opinion. Actually, I'll say it right now. I don't know what my IQ is. I don't care. I don't care. I value the strength in my body. I just came to the conclusion I want my muscles back. I want to get my endurance back. I want to be physically superior. All right. I don't care about solving geometry questions. I don't care about calculus. That stuff don't bother me. I recognize patterns. I know when I see a pattern, I recognize it and I make sure I don't make that same mistake. I don't sit up here and I learn from other people's mistakes. I also am able to read people, and that comes from my environment. When I grew up, I had to be able to read people in order to survive, in order to make sure that nothing bad happens to me as a little girl, if you know what I mean. And I love those skills. I love to have that gift. I enjoy that. I don't care. It's amazing when I see people very intimidated about the whole IQ thing. It's like you got to be better at everything. Oh, I should be able to be physically superior, sexually superior, mentally superior, and I got to have a high IQ too. Dude, you can't be everything you can't be everything to everybody. And it's crazy that so many people are so intimidated by the whole IQ thing. And me, I never cared. I never cared. However, I do like to understand that there are certain things about me that I've learned a lot about myself through Mr. Taylor, as well as other environments. I noticed that it was a certain type of behavior that I saw in America with other blacks. I saw the same thing in Germany, same thing in France, same thing in Italy. It's like no matter where I go, I started to see a pattern. And this troubled me until I got some answers, and now I understand, and I'm not troubled anymore. So in conclusion, IQ really, why do you care what your IQ is? You know what I'm saying? Unless it is affecting your success, I mean, what's the point? Unless you need a high IQ for a certain level of to get into an Ivy League school or a certain type of science or math, I don't see the purpose of having this huge high IQ.
Of course I do, right? Because IQ tests question the validity of other IQ tests. You right now have about 18 different operational IQ tests that are giving out by psychologists. These psychologists question the validity of the 17 other IQ tests that are established.
That's
so
not
even
true.
Even inside of the established industry, there are multiple ways to determine intellectual quotient. The issue is it does not determine factors that actually carry you through life, such as creativity and your emotional quotient. These tests,
and in your case, your 3 E's completely ignore genetics. So you think genetics have no impact whatsoever on someone's intelligence, personality, willingness to defer gratification, any of those things? You think it has no effect? Is that really your position, Dr. Richey?
Well, let me give you the full answer. What I believe is that we're all different. I don't believe a test created by the dominant culture in the early 1900s for themselves.
Here we go. I don't believe that the white man who's my superior, who is my massa, who got his boot on the back of my neck, I don't think that his test that was made back in, what do you say, in the 18 or 1900s or whatever, for his own white people should be applied to me and my blackness because of his whiteness. Dude, you know what, Rashad, if you was really intelligent, which you are not, you are pretty low IQ. I said that, okay? And by the way, I'm only calling you that because of your behavior during this debate or this interaction with Mr. Taylor. Clearly, you are too emotional to have a logical, reasonable, and rational discussion like this with Mr. Taylor. You're so effeminate, dude. It's just, this is why we have to have fathers in the home. Look at him. This is what I'm talking. Don't let that suit and tie fool you, dude. Okay, that is an effeminate man who's very intimidated by the boogeyman known as the white man, which is Mr. Taylor.
Should be a test granted as if this is how people will eventually succeed. And let me give you one actual study that you can look at and review when you get a moment. There was a study done by school teachers and a college that said we're going to randomly choose students who are not gifted.
Why does he, you know what, somebody's constantly in his ear, and I guess they're yelling like, hey, you're looking like an idiot, you're looking like an idiot, don't say that, don't, because he keeps taking that earpiece out of his ear and putting it back in and taking it out, putting it back in and taking it out. They probably say, hey, Rashad, it's a rap, he's making you look like an idiot.
And when we choose these students who are not gifted, we're going to tell them that they are. We're going to say that you were chosen because of your high IQ.
That don't work.
Out of that, 82% of those students demonstrated higher achievement, and 22% of those students demonstrated an IQ increase of over 20 points.
I looked into this study he's talking about, right? It's a very, very long study. And when he says higher achievement, he's not talking about in anything that's measurable like arithmetic or reading comprehension skills or writing skills. He's talking about in their attitude, and they're willing to try new things and still failing, but still willing to try new things. So it did not help them in reference to their schoolwork, and reference to their grades. It just made them feel like, yeah, I'm good. But I'm like, we have that already. A lot of parents tell their children that they're doing well. We got a lot of participation trophies. We are actually on the social media, we are protecting people from misinformation and fake news and all this other stuff. And we don't want people to get triggered. So we're telling people that they are, especially in the Black community, that they can do anything they want. They're great, and we was kangs and whatnot. And still the behavior, I don't understand the blacks people taking other blacks out. It's still at a all-time high. And the way we treat each other, that, as well as other people in society, that has not changed. It's in other words, it's still escalating. So this is a bunch of caca he's talking about, that study. Because if you look at it, it did not improve it did not improve them achieving the grade that they want, or when they took the SATs or the ACT, it didn't really improve their scores on that level. It's just the same as if they were never told how great they are and that they have a high IQ.
Proving that environment can overcome whatever they thought was happening with them genetically. And all of these tests have proven over and over again that IQ has very little bearing. Whatever test you want to give, that's standardized. IQ has very little bearing on your ability to emotionally connect with others and survive and thrive in this world. Atmosphere has much more bearing on that.
If it were so easy, why isn't it done every day in every school in America? If it were that easy, and clearly it is not. Now hold on. Let me reply to your points. Do you really think IQs given today are the same ones that were given in the early 20th century? No, wrong. Furthermore, you say they were developed by the
Yes, that is what you said. That is what you said earlier. When you were saying by your oppressors that were giving you the same test today that was given to them in the early 1900s or something like that. That's what you said earlier. Why don't you rewind your own video and see for yourself? You did say that. So that's what he's responding to. You're basically throwing out so many talking points. You can't keep up with your own BS.
Culture. You said they were developed by the dominant culture.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, that's what he said. That's exactly what Rashad said.
We're developing a test to hold everyone else down. Why is it that East Asians outscore whites on IQ tests consistently?
You know, it's really interesting you bring that up. So the top 5 countries, I'm going to respond to a certain way I choose to. The top 5 countries.
My mama said I'm a good boy and I'm smarter than a white man. And I'm smarter than you, Mr. White Man. You don't tell me what to do. All right. Okay. All he need to do is do the finger snapping and he'd be right on point, dude.
As far as IQ examinations are concerned, are actually Asian nations.
That's
and
correct.
it's ironic that typically white supremacists like yourself, you don't bring that up.
Here we go with the name calling again. Oh, so Mr. Taylor getting them. Mr. Taylor is really getting them. And the thing about it is that Mr. Taylor doesn't have to get gutter with this guy. Okay. He doesn't have to get down low with him. All he is doing is basically telling facts. And Rashad is so offended and he's so intimidated that he has to resort to name calling. Racist, white supremacists like you, this and that. So that when you know he's lost the argument and he knows he's actually, is not capable of defending his points. And he feels like he feels this is how I think. He feels that he is mentally, inferior, okay, to the talking points or the actual, explanation that Mr. Taylor is presenting, and he really doesn't have any way to combat anything or debunk anything that Mr. Taylor is saying. If you want to know why I'm taking my time to talk about this topic, it's because I want to make sure I don't say anything bad, because we got to be very careful with videos like this. So you'll see me look up and try to think of a nice, soft, neutral word to say, because, saying I don't want the YouTubes to think I am doing something against TOS. I'm not. So far, so good, right? So that's why I'm just taking my time to think about my words carefully before I say it.
Itself. Well, hold on, wait a minute. I'm finishing. Yeah, I know, sir. You're probably shocked at this information I'm about to drop to you. Those tests are actually correlated to affix to the culture of the Asian experience.
Mr. Taylor was talking about the Asian Americans here in the United States, you idiot. He wasn't talking about the Chinese, the Vietnamese, the Taiwanese. He was talking about the Asians of everywhere, the Koreans, the Japanese, all of them, Chinese. He's talking about those individuals here in America. They actually are higher in IQ than whites. He's talking about the ones here in America. So when you was and the reason why he was talking about the Asians here in America is because you brought up the test that you said was created either in the early 1900s or the early 2000s. And I think you said early 1900s, and that you said that was created by your oppressors, i.e. white people. So we're staying here in America, and you want to sit up here and take it outside of America because you're losing so badly. Hold that L.
They're not given the same test based on the norming of the scale of the test. Did you realize that or not?
They are given exactly the same Raven's progressive matrices.
That is not, sir, that is not true.
So emotional. So that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Dude, oh my God, where's your wig, dude? I mean, where's your fingernails, honey? Okay. I'm a woman, and I am saying you are too feminine right here, okay? You are so combative. You don't even have control over your own emotions. Like, Rashad, what are you really afraid of? Why won't you let him speak? He sits there patiently and lets you speak. You know why? It's called confidence. You know why? It's called intelligence. You know why? He understands his points. He understands that you can't debunk them, and he has the facts on his side. All you got is and your emotions. You keep cutting him off. You keep cutting him off, and you keep calling him names, which shows that you're basically in the loser seat, and you know it.
Asian Americans, Asians in the United States are given exactly the same tests as white people.
Sir,
right. They score higher than whites.
Okay, let me respond to that.
Okay, because Rashad's going to sit up here and get triggered, okay? We are talking about Asians in America, and they have a higher IQ than whites. So you can't call Mr. Taylor a white supremacist when he himself, a white man, acknowledged that Asians have higher IQ than his race. You stupid idiot! But you know that, or maybe you don't know that. Maybe you are that dumb and you don't realize that's what he's saying. And so, yeah, you probably are that stupid.
I'm talking about the top 5 countries based on IQ
So
exams
irrelevant.
or IQ tests given inside of those countries by their psychologists. They are given to that community by that culture.
So irrelevant.
My overall point to you, my overall message to you, and I got to be quick because they're giving me the wrap-up sign.
Yeah, because they telling you getting your butt spanked. Mr. Taylor's like, pow! Ow, ow, ow! Woo! Rashad, you getting that L, baby.
The overall point is, you believe that IQ is the determining factor in the person's abilities to succeed. However,
No,
IQ.
of course not.
So it's not.
Of course not. There are many things.
Why do you care? Why do you care so much about IQ then? Why
do you care so much of IQ? You, out of all the things that Mr. Taylor is into, and there's a lot of things, you pick IQ because basically you're projecting. You understand that you're not so smart. And therefore, you want to show how you want to give a false image that you smart by attacking this man in reference to his stance on IQ. And you failed miserably. Take that L.
do you have these quotes about black people not being smart?
He never said black people are not smart.
Care about many things: determination, agreeableness, the ability to defer gratification. All of these things matter. But to insist that the only reason why blacks and Hispanics do not do as well as whites in the United States is because of racism.
Right.
To exclude any differences in abilities. Now, hold on, let me finish. And to exclude any differences is completely and utterly unfair.
Look at it, so effeminate. Hold on, guys. Hold on, girl. Hold on, okay? It's my show. I'm talking, okay? Oh my goodness. Okay. Don't you understand? Okay? This is my show. You can't be talking like that and making sense because this is my show. I'm supposed to be the queen and I'm supposed to look good, okay? Okay? Okay.
Hold on. First of all, you're on my show, sir.
Okay,
I did not make that comment, nor did I say that statement. The reality is...
You did, you idiot. It's like you're so triggered. Oh my God, he's so triggered. And he's mad. You mad, bro? You mad? You mad, Rashad? Hey, girl, you mad? You mad, girl? What's wrong, girl? You mad? You mad? Child.
There are a multiplicity of factors. Racism is a part of it. Would you not agree?
Racism now in the United States plays a very small role in racial differences in achievement.
Okay, let's do this.
Very small.
I'm giving a wrap-up sign.
I wouldn't, Mr. Taylor, I wouldn't even give him that much. Like, really? How is racism responsible for the education, and I would say the poor education that I experienced in an all-black city like Washington, D.C., in an all-black school? How is racism playing a part of it? There was not one. We didn't even have one white teacher in my elementary school. Now in my middle school, yes, but everybody was black, from the principal to the janitor to the music teacher, to the art teacher. Everybody was black. Even the people who were serving us lunch. There was not one white person in there. So how is racism a part of educational system in that situation? And trust me, that's more common than people think.
But I challenge you to a full 30-minute debate about this live. You ready for it? You ready for it?
We'll do it anytime you like, sir.
Right. What's your IQ, sir?
My IQ, I do not know. What's yours?
Higher than yours. Have a good day.
How do you know?
All right.
How do you know?
Higher than yours, sir. Ladies.
Mr. Taylor, I didn't know that. I didn't know Mr. Taylor didn't know his IQ, right? So Mr. Taylor, he's so intimidated. So now you want to do an eggplant measuring competition. You want to measure your eggplant against Mr. Taylor by saying, what is your IQ? And Mr. Taylor humbly says, I don't know. I don't believe him, but I'm going to take him at his word. Mr. Taylor says, I don't know. And then Rashad, because, his ego got crushed. He hurt my fifis. He goes, it's high. You don't know it? Well, guess what? It's higher than yours. How do you know if your IQ is higher than Mr. Taylor's if Mr. Taylor doesn't even know his own IQ? See, that statement right now, right then and there, just proves that you're the dumb one. It's impossible that I doubt very seriously that you have a 3-digit IQ. There's no way. There's no way. For you to behave this way, for you to react that way, and for you to end your stream or end this interview with that question just shows everybody that you're self-conscious and you have low self-esteem and low self-confidence. You're just anyway. Well, I was able to get through that video without kicking anything, and I'm so glad I watched it twice already. But I look forward to the 30-minute debate. It should have a moderator there so that when Mr. Gangster here, okay, no daddy raising him and growing up, Mr. Effeminate, saying got nothing but female energy because he's only been raised by women. So that's the reason why he doesn't know how to behave like a man. You can always tell the difference between men who have fathers in their lives or father figures in their lives versus people who only had women in their lives. And this man right here has nothing but whamming, okay? Because just his mannerism. I'm gonna talk. This is my show. And start name calling. That's stuff women do. And I should know because I'm a whamming. Anyway, let me know what you think about this video by leaving a comment below. Also, don't forget to leave a like as well and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. And I'll see you on the next one. Later, taters.